phone-in live talk show. Once again, we have to remind you, but it's my pleasure to introduce Richard Faraci. Nice to meet you, Richard.
Pleasure.
See you again.
Pleasure.
And his son, Christopher. Christopher, got to thank both of you for joining us out here on, on our Surrey location here, and going through your bios and all that stuff. I'm just absolutely amazed. But Richard, I'll turn my attention to you first. You obviously must have started this because not only now are you into martial arts, which I believe we'll see very shortly, you are also into movie acting.
Yeah.
Now, you must have started at a young age.
I started training. I was first introduced to the martial arts when I was about 5. I started formal training when I was about 9, and I've never looked back.
And I guess you just figured that had to be something that you wanted to pursue. Anybody you idolized, looked up to, like we were talking earlier on with Dale? He was talking about David Carradine and
well, I idolized everybody. I mean, they're all doing what I wish I could have been doing at the time. And lately, I've had the fortunate. I've been very fortunate. I've had the opportunity to work with Jean-Claude Van Damme and Jackie Chan, and I want to work with Steven Seagal and all these others.
And Norris?
I would give my eye teeth to be on the same set with Norris.
That'd be
without
quite the
fail.
thing. Now, Chris, we can turn our attention back over to you. You got involved. Why? Because Dad does it, or?
Yeah.
So you figure, well, how old were you when you started?
I was 2.
2. Most people can't even stand up when they're 2. So you figure you'd take over from Dad, eh? Gonna follow in Dad's footsteps.
I used to take him to the gym in the daybed.
Wow, and you were telling us also, because she's shy, she didn't want to join us on set.
Yeah, my daughter.
Your daughter also did this for you.
Yeah, my daughter was doing, she would do Chinese broadswords and caudiforms, and now he's a major part of the show now.
Well, we see this now. I'll hold it up, and I don't. We're going to go to camera number 2
can get this,
out here. We'll see if we can get a close-up shot of this. But this is Christopher, and you were telling me, Chris, you were 4 years old when this was taken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and
he's just.
Here, we'll see if we can get.
That was his first public appearance. He came up to me and said, "Gee, Dad, I would like to come on stage with you, Dad." And I said, "Well, what are you going to do?" And he said, I can spin this." And he did it, and he walked on.
Were you surprised?
I was extremely surprised. I do a lot of writing. And when I was writing, I would notice this flash off to my blind side, really. And I looked over, and it was him spinning nunchakus and swords.
The first time we saw Christopher, he was in Cloverdale with you.
Right.
And Christopher got this nice award, and it's Achievement in the Martial Arts. And it was given to you. And we'll hold this one up again, get a camera shot of this. First off, when they give it to you, you sort of look like you were caught off guard. I don't think you expected it, eh?
I know, I didn't.
and have you received many more like this?
Yep.
Now we've got this one. We won't move the camera. I'll just turn my attention to it. And you also have this other one here as well. Now, martial arts, it's something that as a young age, I mean, young, I wish I was so young again and so fortunate. But even Richard's younger than me. Which really is frustrating. But it's got to be a nice feeling, you know, I mean, you go to school. How do the kids treat you? I mean, like, because you're into the martial arts, and also the fact that your father's now a movie star.
They're like, they like me, like.
They just treat you normal and
yeah, they don't get jealous or anything.
They want to come home, meet Dad at all?
Yeah, they like a couple of my friends get scared of him because he was time cop in the bad guy.
Yeah, I was the bad guy. That was me. That's pretty much my roles in life, the bad guy.
Well, you know, do any of the kids at school ask you how they can get started or how they can get involved or where they go?
Sometimes, and they ask for Van Damme's autograph.
Did you give it to him?
No, I can't.
Well, I guess not, considering you haven't given me one first, for Pete's sake, Chris. I don't know. But we're looking, Richard, we're going through all this stuff, and going through the stuff that you've done, initially from Winnipeg, you were telling us.
Yeah.
And, of course, that's cold. We called it Winterpeg when we lived there.
Yeah, home of the Eskimos, house
that
of the igloos, founder of those mucklucks.
But, I mean, we were talking through some of the stuff. You've done the Highlander, the Comish series.
I became really good friends with Adrian Paul. Paul and I have become buddies. We spar together, we train together. Through that, I've gotten to stunt double for Brian James, who played one of the villains in Blade Runner. You'd know him to see him. He's a great character.
Another villain?
Yeah, another villain.
Yeah,
another villain. I also doubled for Randall Tex Cobb, which was a real big experience. He's a great guy. When we were going through and we were watching some of the film clips of different things you've done, the one thing I've noticed is that you're so focused. I mean, it's not just that you go up there and you go through the motions and you do it right now. Your concentration level is amazing. Well, when you're doing, when you're doing stunts, variations of diving through a window or throwing a punch at somebody or doing this sort of thing, you want to make sure that your accuracy is absolute. You don't want to hurt nobody, you don't want to get hurt, and you want everything to run smoothly. So yeah, concentration is a real important factor. You're looking at exactly what it's going to take to achieve your end, diving through a window. I had to go through a window in Time Cop, which was about this size, and I kept looking at my shoulders going, this is not going to work here. And I said, you know, what do I turn? And they said, no, just do what you do. And once I figured out what I needed to do, when I executed it, I took out the entire frame and they loved it. So it worked out really well.
We should say that not only do you play the bad guys and you do all the martial arts in the movies, you've actually got your black belt.
Yeah, a few times. A couple times over.
Now, we've watched stuff where you go through the stuff and we should allude to the incident right now where you had to do the one football game and you were running up the field and you were breaking the boards.
Yeah.
And not only did you break the board, you broke your hand at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, I broke 270 boards in 60 seconds. I beat an American world class Tamesquara breaker, which is the art of breaking. What I did was he broke 240 in 60 seconds. I did 270. But as I was running, there's cinder bricks that separate about 11 inches apart. And as I was moving, I overstepped myself and I caught one of the bricks. And that took the side of the hand.
Wow. Well, we've got one caller all set. Jason, go ahead, and then we're going to get to a little segment that we had a chance to watch. Go ahead, Jason.
How long has he been in karate?
I've been in karate almost 30 years now.
Okay.
Okay, anything else?
How old should you be to start?
Well, you know, it depends on what you want, where your head is at. Are you disciplined within yourself? Are you confident? When you start at a very early age, it should be a lot of fun. It should never be a discipline. It should just be having a good time.
Okay.
How old are you?
8.
Your perfect age to start. Do you train now?
No.
Do you want to?
He's thinking about it.
He's thinking.
He's thinking about it.
Okay.
He could.
Oh, you should train. It's really good. It's good for peace of mind. And for the parents out there, it's also really good. It gives them self-confidence and the desire to study, even in school and doing all the extracurricular things.
Okay. Thanks for calling. We're going to go to our next caller right now. Jim, go ahead.
Hi, I'd like to find out from Richard when he's going to be going for another world record break.
Well, we were looking at Phoenix, but things with promoters, things sort of fall apart. But now it might be Waikiki in January.
How about your son, Richard? Christopher, is he going to go for any breaking records?
Not for quite some time. I want to keep his hands intact for a while. Well, he does break now.
We should say Christopher brought this board in, and this is the first board that Christopher broke.
First board he ever broke, and there's a funny story. I was upstairs and he was downstairs, and he used to play my music when he was really little, and he would emulate what I did. And a friend of mine was downstairs working on the bags and doing stuff. I had a private little gym in the house, and he set the board up, did the whole psych thing, and put it down. He was about 5 at the time, and my friend come running upstairs, and he was going, "He broke this board." And I went, yeah, sure he did. Like, because he used to simulate. He would put 2 halves together and break them. He goes, no, he broke the board. And that was his first board break.
Wow. Well, you talk about breaking boards and all that. We're going to go and watch right now. And if you think this wouldn't hurt, I would not try it. I want my hands intact. Richard does it very well. Let's go look at it. Oh, I'm watching that. Richard, that's got to hurt.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, now, special training? I watch, just looking at your biceps over here, your biceps are almost bigger than my legs. I mean, you must go through an awful lot of workout.
Yeah, I train on an average about 4 to 5 hours every day.
And that's got to be time consuming. You're away from home a lot?
I was more before, not as much now. Now most of the events like that, I make sure that the family's involved in the contract and they come with me.
Is this the one we just saw? Is this the one where you separated your shoulder?
Yeah. Yeah, on the first hit.
How do you ever stay focused to the point that you want to continue? I mean, most people would hit it and say, "Oh, well, I'm going for a coffee. I hurt my shoulder."
What happens is that at the point you're there and you commit, the moment of truth, when you first deliver the strike, you've looked at the mash, you've decided that this is what you're going to do, and you're going to go for it. At that moment of truth, you're on adrenaline and spirit. You're going. And regardless of what happens, it has to be taken down. It has to be completed. So that's.
Before we go to our next caller, is there any? And we saw your hands all taped. Is there any special padding on the side of your hand?
No. What we're allowed. The reason for the taping and stuff is that there's no point in shattering and breaking hands and limbs and stuff. Nobody benefits from it.
Well, I wonder what's the point in doing that to start with.
Well, that was to beat an Australian, is what that was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm a 5-time world champion at breaking. Wow. That's my specialty. I've broken 2,700 pounds of ice, 100 boards in 1 minute 49 seconds. This sort of stuff. It's all sanctioned with Guinness and the WKA.
Wow. I believe we've got another caller ready on our next line. Go ahead.
Yes, hello, Rick.
Hi.
You look great, by the way.
Well, thank you very much.
I'm his great admirer. My question is, should a 9-year-old boy want to start in martial arts, what would you recommend? It's very confusing out there. There are many.
What you want to do is you want to shop around. Find an instructor or a sensei that suits your criteria of honor and loyalty and instills values that you believe in. Most instructors take the time to show, especially young people, that it's not the art of violence. It was never meant to be the art of violence. It was a way to be a warrior in the sense of honors and codes, much like the Knights of the Round Table. When you're looking for a club for your son or daughter, find one that has an instructor that suits your standards of belief. And also makes it fun. It has to be fun. It's real important that it's fun for kids.
That's great.
Does that help?
Much? I think so, yes.
Oh, great. There's lots of good guys out there. There's lots of places to start. Just shop around.
As far as, there are different types of martial arts. You have different names. I know nothing about it. You have Taekwondo, you have Karate, you have...
Yeah, there's just a whole array of different systems.
Exactly.
I'm very fond of Taekwondo. It's my base. It's my background. I also believe that it develops a great deal of sportsmanship because it has a great deal of inner tournaments and social gatherings, and it's very very sports oriented. It's not meant to be it doesn't go the kickboxing route. Kickboxing is a much more physical, much more contact. Taekwondo, even karate also has their own sort of thing. I would suggest either one of them for your first.
Great, thank you very much.
You're quite welcome. Thank you. Have a good Christmas.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks for calling. Now, you have your black belt in Taekwondo?
I have a second dan in Taekwondo. I have 2 levels of black in Taekwondo.
How long did it take you to get them?
I got them in about 6 years, approximately.
A lot of hard work involved.
Yeah, a lot of fun too, though. I mean, my instructor was Master Am Lee, and he would allow me to come to the gym in the afternoon and train with him, and then he would he'd take you aside and he'd show you little tricks, and it was a lot of fun.
Now we've got our next caller set in the line. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, I was just wondering, at the age of 29, is that too late to start into something like the martial arts? Not for the physical contact, just mostly for the exercise.
For the exercise and the peace of mind and just enjoying yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's never too late. There was a woman in New York City. They call her Granny Black Belt. She started at 83. She received her black belt at 86.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, she was actually a model for instructors, much like myself and other ones, to say you're never too old.
Oh, thanks very much.
You're quite welcome.
Thanks for calling. That's amazing, you know, for a lady of that age.
She was the big talk of the social set of martial artists. She was just something. She just decided that at 83 she was going to learn how to do
that's
taekwondo.
good. You know, there's nothing wrong with that because a lot of people have to have, you know, you get on and your life gets a little bit stagnant. And you know,
well, there's been a lot of studies for elderly dealing with atrophy, lack of use. Boston did a study with weight training and aerobics and stuff, very, very casual, nothing serious. And some people actually got out of wheelchairs and away from walkers because they limited their atrophy by just working on.
We were talking before we came on set the fact that when you were working with Van Damme in the movie, that there was a couple of things that you were unsure of and how to work them, and that Jean-Claude actually gave you some assistance?
There's lots of talk about Jean-Claude being a bad guy and this and that. Not true. He was terrific. They allowed me to, Peter Hyams, who's the director, allowed me to bring my son, my whole family on set to see me working, and this is my first major feature. So they treated me really well. There's one scene where and I hope some of you have seen it. There's one scene where
You're talking the Time Cop movie?
Yes, the Time Cop.
Okay.
I pistol whip him. And when they shoot it for the close-ups, there's no Jean-Claude. There's no target. And it's very low. Normally you would come down in motion, but they wanted me to come right across and be like about this, 6-7 inches off the ground. I couldn't gather it, and it was getting really frustrating. I walked away from the section just to get a peace of mind and sit on my own, just sort of, what is it they want? And Jean-Claude walked up and went, "Don't worry about it, you're doing fine for me." He gave me a tap on the shoulder, and I went and did another couple more takes, and it was in. So,
and he was happy.
Yeah, he was very supportive through the whole thing.
Oh, that's
good.
A lot of fun. Another caller, next line. Go ahead, Gina.
Hi, I've met you before during the Grey Cup game.
Oh, yes.
And I have my black belt, and I was wondering if you have any schools open.
If I do?
Yeah.
I have only a theater company, and I teach privately. But if you want, maybe later on, we can discuss classes or perhaps partaking in the theater production.
Oh, that's good.
How long, you've trained for how long?
I've been training for about seven years.
Any weapons experience?
No, just I've been in Taekwondo and some kickboxing.
Terrific.
Yeah, so.
Okay, well.
Maybe if she can leave her phone number.
If you can leave your number, we can certainly get back to you.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, thank you.
Well, you have a good Christmas.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot. Now, you were talking about the theater. You're involved in this action theater.
Yeah,
well, it's adventure theater.
It's adventure theater, a martial arts journey.
And Christopher's involved in this too.
He's the star. He is the focus of the entire show. It's a martial arts journey into your mind. It was originally designed to entertain as a bar theater show. Then it grew into an actual stage production, and now it's an ongoing theater production. Wow. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, we got another caller. Go ahead, Larry.
Hello?
Hi, Larry.
Hi. I was wondering, did you ever notice, like lots of schools seem to really just seem to want to take your money and stuff, you know?
Well, the situation with that is, and it's unfortunate, but with anything that becomes business, an enterprise, and martial arts is a multi-million-dollar business, you'll find that happens sometimes. Like anything else, so when you're looking for a club, don't just adapt only to one unless you're real happy with the instructors and the way their business is run and how they treat you. There's a million different schools. It's a buyer's market.
Yeah, it seems expensive just to get started out, just to even try out a little bit, you know?
Well, a lot of clubs offer a free session or a free week.
No different from going to a gym.
No different from any other gym. The only difference is that you're learning a little bit more in physical movement. But it's really not any different. Shop around. There's good deals to go too. Various different clubs have various different competitive prices.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, thanks, Larry.
Bye.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, you talk about this adventure theater. We watched you break the ice. We watched what Christopher does, how he twirls those batons.
Yeah, he's.
I was amazed. I mean, this just totally mesmerized me. Just sitting. In fact, we watched it 3 times because we couldn't believe that this kid's doing this stuff.
Yeah, he's quite a shaker.
Never get hurt when you do that?
No.
No? Oh, get another caller. Sue, go ahead.
Hi. I was wondering, what's your body weight?
I'm 246 to 250, depending on the day.
And I was wondering about the technique of the hand strength. What's the training mechanism? What makes the hand stronger and stronger and stronger?
In order to break?
Yeah.
What I do is I used to do the hot water and salt sort of treatment to thicken the skin, so to speak.
Yeah.
Then I went into using health balls, and I do a lot of piano exercises, hand exercises.
And that'll do it?
Well, it's done it for me. I've been pretty lucky. I haven't had I used to have a lot of injuries in my early breaking career, but I've been very fortunate in the last 10 years.
What's the weight impact when you're breaking something like that?
Depending on what you're breaking. The bricks?
Yeah.
You can strike with just the idea to break brick or ice is, especially in those quantities, you've got to hit at least over 900 psi.
Oh, and it has to be pinpointed as well, right?
Well, you know what it is? It's very much physics dealing with speed and inertia and focus, and then finding the fulcrums, the weak focal points in it. Everything has a weak focal point. It's being able to identify it and strike it at the same time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You have a good Christmas.
Yeah, you too.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Luke. Yeah, you know, the pressure and the stiffening or the toughness of the hands, people watch it. Not only with that, I mean, watching you break the ice with the kicking motion for your feet, that's got to be a lot of pressure too there.
Yeah, I'm one of the few guys that actually breaks 600-700 pounds of ice with kicks. Oh. It's also getting it in and then getting it out before the ice falls on your ankle.
Yeah, isn't that true? Yeah, because when you brought your foot up to go through it, you actually went in and the release was real quick so that they wouldn't.
Yeah.
But there was a couple that we watched that the bricks didn't, or the ice didn't fall.
And you get the whole shock. Yeah. If you look at the tape, and I know which tape you're talking about, when I strike, you'll watch that the whole hip sort of does a jar, and I shake my leg loose. It comes all the way back to the back of the hair. That's what it does.
Oh,
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Christopher, you enjoy this. You're going to advance and possibly follow in Dad's footsteps?
Yep.
What length? Now we're talking like the black belt and all that. You want to get that? Movie acting?
Yeah.
Do you want to take my world title belt?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be a fight of the century, wouldn't it?
I'd have to come out of retirement.
Oh, that'd be good. Any, for the viewing people at home, any advice that you could give them?
Advice that I would like to give?
Because
I think that I would like everybody to just, get along and that sort of thing, of course. Advice and everybody should try the martial arts. Give it a shot. You'll learn a great deal. You really do. It's taken me from the streets to having a great family to doing my dream. I fulfilled my dreams through the martial arts. I started off as a bar bouncer, et cetera, for 9 years, 10 years of my life. I ended up becoming a bodyguard and in the movies and in the theater. I said I'd do a feature before I was 35, and I did.
And you did.
Actually, the weekend of my 35th birthday, I got the Time Cop movie. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
And just follow your dreams.
Oh, that's good. Good advice from Rick Faraci. And as usual, it's time for our editorial. We do want to let everybody know, especially at this time of the year, there's so many people out there, and I tell you, the stress level is unbelievable. You go shopping in shopping malls or wherever you might be. Remember one thing. Our focus for the show is on sports and different events that might lead to it. We want to stress for the safety aspect for the young children like Christopher. Don't just learn your trade and go out and do it wherever. Stay focused, and you will never, ever go wrong, because learning is one of the best teaching tools. And if you want to learn from the older people, because the younger people, one day, they want to take my place, they want to take Rick's place, and without the guidance of the older people, I tell you, you won't get there. You'll reach a plateau and you'll level out and you go down the other side. It's too bad, but that's just the way life goes on, eh, Rick?
That's it.
And